Good morning, everybody. It's a lovely morning here. I can hear the birds singing, but it is very early. I'm just waiting for the light to come up. I wanted to do a living without armour vlog today, and it's about making difficult decisions. Now, I have I think raved is probably a fair word about the fact that I was going to go on the Brené Brown Dare to Lead course later this year in Texas, and I've made the incredibly difficult, but at this point in my life, correct decision to withdraw from that course. Now, there are two halves to the story. The first is very personal, and there's personal reasons as to why I've had to withdraw. But secondly, I think there's also some lessons perhaps for both sides as to what also contributed to the decision. So, some of you may or may not know, I write about it quite prolifically, and I vlog about it quite prolifically. Has been my ongoing battle with money over the years. Now that has resulted in, although I've had, I've been blessed with a very good career, it has meant that I've pretty much blown whatever I've earned. So I don't have stacks of stash left in the savings. For those of you who do struggle with money or are worried about debt or ashamed of it, please don't be. Just visit my website, Nick Davis, or my Facebook group, and I've written and shared loads on it, and I have really found it helpful, I've got to say. And I've also found it really helpful that people reach out and talk about it with me. I feel very humbled actually, and honoured that people can do that, so thank you. But there's been a couple of things at this end that have really brought it home to me how vulnerable I am on the financial front. One is my daughter has been ill for about 4 weeks now. She's much better. She is much better, but that is not because the NHS diagnosed what was wrong with her. It's because in the end I just couldn't bear it at all, and I went to see a private consultant, and that was the start of my journey that said, oh, I might need to cancel this course because nothing in the world becomes, before my children, and certainly not their health. And if that means I need to pay for it, I'm not going to get into political argument. That's what I'm going to do. Secondly, there's been a few things, just everyday things that I've needed paying for, but they all add up to a few £100. And again, it makes me realise just how vulnerable I am, because I'm really having to struggle and wrap my brain thinking, Craig, I haven't got that few £100. It would have to go on a credit card, and I don't want to go back to where I've come from. So all of that led me to a position that said, I'm not sure financially I'm in a position where I'm ready to be able to pay for the course. The course is a 2.5-day course in Texas. So obviously it does mean flights and also airfares, and it is $7,500. Now, I do have a refund, but the admin fee and the fluctuations in exchange rate themselves have resulted in the fact that it's cost me £600, even though I've had a refund. So, of the £6,000, which was the equivalent of what it cost me, I've just got over 5.3 or 5.4 back. So it was an expensive decision to make. Let's put it that way. The foreign currency market is perhaps not one for me to play. So that's been going on, and that led to me. The other side of it was you had to do some exams before you went on the course. Great. They were great exams, but you only get 4 attempts at each, and you have to get 80% pass rate. Absolutely fair enough. I did struggle with a couple of them, and I've reached out for help. But also, during that reaching out for help, I also asked some questions about what the course was going to be like, because, I've just been so excited. This has been such a big deal for me. And what comes out of it is it's going to be 120 people on the course. Now, in my experience, that's a conference, not a course. And I guess that really, really shook me and made me a little bit worried. And I thought, oh, I've paid $7,500, which really has put us financially as a family, and particularly me, feeling very vulnerable, because I've pretty much scraped and used whatever I can to pay for that. And I'm going to be in a room with 120 people. Now, there may be 119 other amazing people, but I've got 2.5 days. How many of them am I really going to get to meet? How many really deep and lasting connections am I really going to get to make? Am I even going to meet Brené Brown? I don't know. So I did reach out with that question about how it would work and how it was going to be planned out, because that was something that I hadn't expected. and I hadn't picked up at all when I'd thought very, very carefully, very long and hard about whether to go on this course, and that question was never answered. So all in all, I decided that for this time round, the universe putting you where you are, me being how I was feeling, it wasn't for me. I do believe that, to use a metaphor, a bus comes round many times in life. Just because you don't get on it the first time doesn't mean it won't come back again. I admire Brené Brown and her work greatly, and I would dearly love to go on a course. I wasn't expecting that many people. I think I was looking for more intimacy and human connection than that. If I'm honest, particularly for that amount of money. The team have been great about refunding and reaching out to me. I simply haven't responded at the minute, actually, because it's half term and I just haven't really had time. I am going to sit down and write a very lengthy email sharing, stepping forward with vulnerability and absolutely sharing my story and the reasons behind this, because I think it's really important they should know why I've pulled out. It is a combination of my personal circumstances, but also I think managing expectations about what it is that's on offer and how it's going to work. And for me, the risk of going on a course that far away from home, would have never been away from my children for that long before, and using all of our financial reserves to do so, and not really knowing whether it was going to, I suppose, deliver my expectations was just too great. And there wasn't a phone number I could ring, and the question about the 120 people on the course was one that still isn't answered in my mind. But the point of this vlog is to say sometimes in life we have to make difficult decisions. And as much as I admire Brené Brown and as much as I admire her work, that doesn't mean that I am of no value or I cannot achieve what I want to achieve just because I've had to withdraw. Given my current circumstances, I think it's absolutely the right thing for me to do. Next year may be a completely different story. I'm sure an opportunity will come around at another time. In the meanwhile, I will enjoy reading and learning about her work enormously, and will do my very best to bring it forward and to help it to inform me, because that's the last point of this vlog. Is going on that course was not going to give me the answer to change or to save my life. It was going to contribute to my learning, and it was going to help me to move forward and inform the way I want to be. But I'm still going to be Nick Davis at the end of the course. I'm not going to be Brené Brown. And I think it's really important to keep hold of that perspective, and therefore that helps us make those difficult decisions. And I wanted to share why I'd made that one, because I'm sure there's lots of people out there that have to make difficult decisions every day of their life. It's not the end of the world. Sometimes actually it's just the right decision we need to make at that point in time, and if it's the right thing to be, it will come along at another point in time. So that's my thoughts for today. All the very best. Bye.